The Chicago skyline shimmered under the late morning sun, its towers glinting like polished steel. Below, the heartbeat of the city pulsed through crowded streets and roaring buses. A Lincoln Community College, sunlight streamed through tall glass windows, glancing off marble floors that gleamed from a fresh polish. Maya Carter, 29, pushed her cleaning cart along the main corridor. Her blue janitor's uniform hung loose on her lean frame, the fabric worn from years of use. Students hurried past her. Laughing, chatting, dreaming was the way she once had. Once she'd been the prodigy everyone talked about. The girl from the South Side who built her first app at 12. The one who'd won a national coding competition before she could drive. At 15, she'd stood on a stage in Washington, D.C., holding a trophy in one hand and her mother's hand in the other, grinning for cameras. Her mother, Ruth Carter, had believed in her more than anyone. A nurse with 2 jobs and no time for rest, Ruth scraped together old computer parts from thrift stores and told her daughter, "Baby, make something new out of what's broken." Maya did. She coded, she built, she dreamed, all the way to MIT. But when Ruth's cancer diagnosis hit during Maya's junior year, dreams took a back seat to survival. Maya dropped out, came home, and took the first job that would help pay the bills. Now her days began with scrubbing classrooms instead of coding algorithms. She paused to rest her mop, gazing at a bulletin board where bright posters announced Windy City Tech Summit, $75 million Innovation Challenge. The contest was everywhere. Use AI to fix Chicago's failing transit system, it said. To most, it was a challenge for tech elites. To Maya, it was a haunting echo of her past life. She pushed her cart toward the exit, the afternoon sunlight pouring through the glass doors. Her reflection stared back at her, tired eyes, skin gleaming with sweat. A woman with too much talent and too few chances. Somewhere in the distance, a bus horn blared, and Maya thought about all the people who depended on those buses. Her mom, her neighbors, her city. The challenge poster fluttered on the wall as the doors opened, and for the first time in years, Maya wondered, what if? Downtown Chicago came alive with spectacle as the Windy City Tech Summit opened its doors. The convention center gleamed in the midday sun, surrounded by banners flashing words like innovation, disruption, progress. Inside, the place buzzed like a beehive, drones hovering overhead, booths glowing with holograms, entrepreneurs pitching ideas to investors in sleek suits. On the main stage, billionaire Ethan Caldwell stepped into the spotlight. At 45, with silver-streaked hair and a jawline sharp enough to draw blood, he was the face of the city's tech elite. Chicago, he declared, has the potential to lead the world in technology, but we can't even get our buses to run on time. Laughter rippled through the crowd. So here's the challenge. Use artificial intelligence to cut transit delays by 40% without new infrastructure. The winning team gets $75 million to make it happen. Applause thundered through the hall. Maya wasn't in the audience. She was cleaning it. Her college had sent her and a few others to handle maintenance during the summit. She moved quietly among tables stacked with laptops, cables, and coffee cups. Invisible to the innovators who strutted past, her reinforcement learning might work if we weight the data differently, someone said near her. The boy, weather data's corrupt again, said. Another Maya listened without meaning to, her brain sparking with ideas she hadn't touched in years, as she wiped down a table near the stage. She heard Caldwell barking at a team of young coders. You're telling me you can't solve it? Maybe I should hire the janitor. Laughter followed. He tossed a small silver USB drive onto the floor. It skidded, landing near Maya's shoe. She picked it up and looked at it. The label read Transit Challenge Dataset Full. When she handed it back, Caldwell smirked. Go on then, Miss Janitor. Think you can fix Chicago? People chuckled, but Maya didn't flinch. She held his gaze and said, Maybe I can. It was meant as a joke. But something inside her shifted. That night she couldn't stop thinking about it. The next morning, sunlight poured through the college windows as Maya wheeled her cleaning cart down the hall. Her mind wasn't on the job anymore. It was spinning with equations, code, and possibilities. By lunchtime, she made up her mind. She went to the summit registration desk and said, I want to enter the challenge. The woman behind the desk blinked. Are you part of a team? No, Maya said. But Mr. Caldwell said I could. The woman raised an eyebrow but checked. Minutes later, Maya was escorted upstairs. Caldwell was lounging in a glass-walled office laughing with investors. When he saw her, amusement flickered across his face. "You again? You said I could enter," Maya replied evenly. He leaned back, smirking. "You've got 48 hours, Ms. Janitor. Midnight deadline." "Good luck." "Thank you," Maya said, and walked out before he could change his mind. That afternoon, in her small apartment, she pulled out her sister's old laptop. The keys stuck. The battery barely held, but it was all she had. Her siblings, Sierra and Malik, gathered around. "You're really doing this?" Sierra asked. Maya smiled faintly. "We've been waiting for buses our whole lives. Maybe it's time someone fixed them." She downloaded the dataset. Terabytes of schedules, traffic patterns, maintenance logs. Corporate teams would chase pure efficiency. Maya wanted something different. Equity. Her algorithm, which she named Equiflow, would prioritize underserved areas while optimizing time. She coded for hours, the sun setting behind her as her apartment filled with the hum of possibility. For 2 straight days, Maya coded from sunrise to sunset. The kitchen table became her lab, covered in post-it notes, coffee cups, and printed charts. She built neural networks that learned from bus delays, weather, and passenger flow. She used a genetic algorithm to simulate route adjustments in real time. When her code crashed, she didn't stop. She restarted. Her brother Malik tried to help. "What if it learns from people on the buses?" he asked. That sparked an idea. A module for rider feedback data, letting commuters report delays directly through a phone app. The system would then adjust automatically. By the second evening, her simulation hit a 42% delay reduction. Her hands trembled. It worked almost perfectly. Still, fear gnawed at her. What if they laughed at her again? What if they stole her work? But she couldn't turn back. She had to finish. On the morning of the deadline, Maya dressed neatly, tied her hair back, and went to the public library. She uploaded her code anonymously under the name Equiflow Labs. Back home, she waited. Her family tried to distract her with TV, jokes, and food, but her stomach twisted in knots. At the summit, Caldwell's frustration grew. None of the elite teams had achieved more than a 20% improvement. "Millions of dollars," he muttered, "and no one can solve it." Then one of the judges announced, "We've received a late submission from an anonymous entrant." They ran the simulation live on the big screen. The crowd went silent as buses rerouted smoothly. Trains adjusted in real time and congestion melted away. 47% delay reduction. "Who submitted this?" Caldwell demanded. From the back of the hall, Maya stood. "I did," murmurs rippled. People turned. Caldwell stared at her, stunned. "You?" Maya nodded and walked to the stage. Calm, steady, brilliant. She explained her code, her algorithms, her vision for equity. By the time she finished, the room was silent, and then erupted into applause. The engineers verified her work. Every line of code was clean, logical, and innovative. Caldwell finally extended a hand. "Miss Carter, you just won the $75 million challenge." Cheers exploded across the hall. Cameras flashed. Maya stood under the lights, blinking back tears. "This," she said into the microphone, "isn't just about technology. It's about fairness, about making sure every person in this city can get where they need to go, no matter where they live." Her speech went viral within hours. "From janitor to innovator," headlines declared. But Maya didn't take the money for herself. She used it to found the Carter Transit Lab, hiring young coders from community colleges, single mothers, and kids from neighborhoods like hers. Chicago's buses began running on time. People noticed. So did the world. A year later, the Carter Transit Lab buzzed with energy. Sunlight streamed through tall windows as young programmers coded, debated, and dreamed. Maya walked between desks, greeting her team, a mix of people who'd once been overlooked, just like her. On the walls, murals painted by Sierra celebrated community and progress. Malik, now interning as a developer, grinned as he debugged a new feature. "We're expanding to Detroit next month," he said proudly. Her mother, Ruth, visited often, healthy again. She'd sit by the window with tea, watching her daughter lead. One afternoon, Caldwell stopped by the lab, humbled. "You proved me wrong," he admitted. Maya smiled. "Sometimes the people you overlook are the ones who change everything." Outside, the streets buzzed with movement, buses arriving on time, trains running smoother than ever. Chicago's heartbeat had found its rhythm again. Maya stood on the balcony, the sunlight warm on her skin. She thought of the girl she once was, tired, unseen, sweeping floors under the same light. Now she was building something that would outlive her.